think I'm just going, I'm gonna sit this right here, you know, nice and lovely. What's that? You can't see where I sat it? Well, you probably didn't see me going undefeated with ninjas either, boy. Oh yeah, it's Update Monday. What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is Update Monday. My guys, it's been a while. It's at least been a year and at least 9 months. Maybe 10 months, but regardless, we kicking rheumatoid arthritis' ass. My guys, my friends, my brothers in Christ, the warmer it gets, the stronger I become, because RA and cold don't go together, so I like to take care of my body inside of the cold, and when the summer comes up, I'm showing skin. This isn't gonna like violate YouTube. Like I'm not even showing nipple. Like I'm literally being an OnlyFans tease. It's kind of crazy how life works, and what August taught me yesterday is that if you are suffering some type of joint pain or arthritis, we're pretty much all in the same family. Don't let what happened at the beginning of the year, which is normally the winter, ruin your summer, boys. Kind of like what we say. Don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. I knew I'd sneak that in there. You just didn't see what in the cup. It's also kind of ironic too, because that's exactly what this Yu-Gi-Oh format is starting to seem like. Yu-Gi-Oh has a really interesting problem right now. You get to see the bad of the bad, players completely locking out your zones.
Reg, bang, bang.
Bang, bang. 9 zones locked out. He has one monster zone, one extra monster zone remaining. Are you going to concede?
I won game 1. I think that was game. I won game 1.
One zone short of seeing them all go, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
We almost saw all 10.
But then you also get to see the great of the great, so many strategies competing, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Today I'm going to be giving you the lowdown on secret techs and topping deck lists. We are going to be going over a meta-analysis post YCS Las Vegas, and of course the regionals that happened over the course of the weekend. So of course, big dog, if you just so happen to like the content, then you already know what to do to that subscribe button, but also be sure to hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter. I'll give you my updated undefeated ninja deck profile if you follow me on the Twitter. Come on guys, I got my last one hacked, so we got to start from the bottom again. So coming into the event, a lot of players thought that Catch Tira was the
ultimate deck of destruction. You needed to be prepared for this deck or lose. There is no way to stop from locking your zones.
That's actually not really the case. So a really interesting thing is happening with our power cards and our tech cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Cash Tiras actually came prepared for cards like Lava Golem, Sphere Mode, and Book of Eclipse. If a Cash Tira player even sniffs that you're playing a Lava Golem or a Sphere Mode, they'll just make a Rise Heart Pass, which is actually an insanely powerful card backed up with either back row or hand traps. They can essentially disrupt you, and since you're playing with one less card, you won't be able to Sphere Mode them and Lava Golem them until it is too late. Against cards like Book of Eclipse, if they sniff those cards out, they'll just lock out your spell and trap card zones. The zones that you need to play Yu-Gi-Oh! The zones that you need for your spell and trap card zones. The cool thing about this is that your opponent can only do one thing or the other. They can either choose not to play into your Lava Golem or Sphere Mode, or choose not to play into your Book of Eclipse. I genuinely think that you should run a combination of both of those cards to be able to beat the matchup. And speaking of beating the matchup, some of the most powerful hand traps inside of this format is easily Nibiru. Nibiru is an insane hand trap right now because it hits the right amount of decks inside of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. But more importantly, since Castira doesn't have any way to negate Nibiru, they just lose their entire board to the rock. Do you smell what the rock is cooking? Essentially, Castira could be seen as the toxic Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but that's actually the interesting problem. We actually have so many ways to be able to counter the deck. It's a healthy toxicity. It's that good toxicity. Kind of like, you know, when your girl toxic, but you won't leave for reasons. I ain't saying that it ain't hard out there for a pimp, but your hand ain't gonna do what let's just not violate community guidelines. I like a monetized channel. Some other extremely good hand traps were easily Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Not only does it hit the Kashtira Theosis, preventing them from summoning other Kashtira monsters from the deck to the side of the field, it also stops cards like Branded Fusion, Big Welcome Labyrinth, and Welcome Labyrinth, which is a part of some of the most powerful decks in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Ash Blossom is always good when spell and trap cards can be hit special summoning monsters from the deck. It's just a great card right now. And then lastly, a secret tech hand trap was easily Contact C. Contact C is crazy. Using it against a Kashtira player, preventing them from making Exceed summons until they do something with a level 6 monster. Hey Kashtira, can you do something for me? Can you get this level 6 off for me? That does not sound right. And even if they do start playing Link monsters, they're gonna have to give up a monster to get rid of Contact C. This could still be huge. I think there's viability. Some other tech cards that I noticed were Crossout Designator and Neospatian Aqua Dolphin. Both of these cards were essentially used in branded decks to be able to stop Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Aqua Dolphin can be special summoned off a fusion deployment by playing its fusion counterpart inside of the extra deck. Forbidden Chalice and Forbidden Lance are extraordinarily good Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Lance prevents your monster from being flipped face down through cards like Book of Eclipse. And Chalice is not just simply a monster negation, it's one of the only monster negation cards that can be activated in every phase of the game. On to the event coverage part, it's actually really crazy when you look at it because it seems to be a problem in the format, but it's over exaggerated, trust me. Thanks to Seb2 360, I actually have analytics not only on YCS Las Vegas, I actually have the combined analytics over the course of the weekend, and it's going to explain a really interesting situation. We're gonna move all the way into top 8, as that's technically 24 players. Inside of that top 8, there was actually 11 Kashtira, 7 Branded, 4 Labyrinth, 1 Sprite, and 1 Sword Soul. On paper, it still does look like
it's the Tier 0 format! Kashtira's ruining the game!
But what I think you actually have to account for is that the format is still extremely new. Kashtira was seen as the best deck, and also Kashtira did not get easy W's. When you look on the combined analytics from what we have, there's actually 25 Kashtira, 12 Branded, 9 Labyrinth, 5 Sprite, 5 Sword Soul, and 8 other. My guys, my friends, in comparison to last format, a genuine Tier 0 format, it's starting off as Kashtira as the front runner, but some of the other decks are not far behind. Unfortunately, at the time of making this video, we do not have the first place Kashtira list. But not only will Seb2 360 be updating his list on Twitter, I'll also even pin a comment down below in the comment section so you guys can post more deck lists as they come about. But from what I've observed at the event, a lot of players have been using similar builds to what Team Slifer Slacker used that got top 16 outside of the YCS. This particular variant is extremely powerful, as not only are you mainboarding hand traps to be able to stop the mirror match like Nibiru and Ash Blossom on the Kashtira Theosis and when they summon too many monsters, this deck is actually built to be able to counter cards like the Winged Dragon Aras, Sphere Mode, and Lava Golem, as all you have to do is special summon a Rice Heart and then let your spell cards like Forbidden Lance and Chalice do the work for you, preventing your opponent from using Eclipse and Change of Heart, but also being able to negate your opponent's monster effects. Kashtira is incredibly powerful, but one thing you must remember is that it was only 2 losses away from being the second place deck to 2 world champions in John's team, which did not feature a Kashtira player. Both John Wilker and Charlie Fudge played a branded version that could summon Red Eye's Dark Dragoon to the side of the field and destroy some of your opponent's important monsters. On top of that, they actually lowered their Bestial count to almost nil, as well as used Branded Explosion to be able to special summon Gimmick Puppet Nightmares to your opponent's side of the field, completely preventing them from special summoning. My guys, yo, Branded got some spice. I think that this version of the build is really interesting, but also goes to show that you don't have to drown your particular strategy in outs to be able to succeed in this format. There was only 6 total cards dedicated to be able to beat the Kashtira strategy. Branded was allowed to play how it wanted to, but even more importantly, those same 6 cards are not only good against Kashtira, but also good against a lot of other strategies in the game. And it would also be a shame to talk about Charlie and John without talking about Ryan's build, as he didn't play Branded, he actually played Mommy Milkers. Ryan's Labyrinth deck completely ignores a lot of the cards in the card game like Nibiru the Primal Being and Book of Eclipse, but also has a great focus on the Kashtira strategy, being able to use your trap cards to completely destroy them, and a lot of that monster interaction that the deck has goes completely nil when playing against this deck. So yes, I do agree, there just might be a problem with locking out every single one of your opponent's zones, but you also have to admit that there are some other powerful decks in the format, and Kashtira feels closer like a tier 1 glass cannon than an actual tier 0 deck. But that doesn't stop there. There are actually regionals across the globe where Kashtira didn't take home the bacon. Gary Chin actually got first place at the Pennsylvania regional with Swole. Sword Soul is just extremely good and adaptable in any format. This particular build pretty much exemplifies how the deck can be simplistic, but also extremely dangerous. If you ask me, it has more to do with the player piloting the deck and also understanding how the format is working, as opposed to the deck itself being able to just take you to the top of the format. And that's why I think we'll see more decks that are not cast here into the format consistently top throughout. And let's not forget about other powerful decks inside of the meta, such as Samsor Havasi. My guy, I apologize for messing up your name. Sometimes I don't even get cards right, so I think I got close here. Getting first place with his Runic Live Twin Sprite deck. And the reason why this deck is just so powerful is because, I mean, are you playing counters to Runic? Are you still playing Nibiru? This deck eats those! Some of the top decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Has created an interesting situation about back row removal. There wasn't a lot of players utilizing that, and some other decks like Runic, Sprite, and back row heavy decks in total actually took full advantage of that. It'll be interesting to monitor how that's going to work throughout the format. Of course, Big Dog, if you guys have a deck list that you want to put down below, make sure to put it in my pinned comment. But overall, I think that this format is moving more towards a healthy side of Yu-Gi-Oh! With a little bit of a alright problem than a huge problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! That needs to be addressed for right now. I can't wait to reveal to you what I think are the top 5 meta decks post this weekend. But until then, you're gonna have to check out these other videos as they're awesome forms of content until I post the next one, Big Dog.